today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an homage to my mother, who just recently passed away. We're going to do hamburger steak and gravy. Now, the reason why I say hamburger steak is one of my favorites. So, to give you the grill twist to this, what we're going to do is we're going to pat out these hamburger into patties. And then I'm going to go outside and grill it. And it's going to get that smoky grill flavor. And then we're going to add gravy to it. And we're going to make hamburger steak and gravy. And we're going to have some mashed potatoes to go with it on the side. And we're going to show you how to do that. Because this has never been done before. And this is a new way of doing it. You can do steak and gravy the old way. You can fry it. You can cook it. Make the gravy. And you do it that way. But this is a twist on it because we want to show you that you can do just about anything on a grill. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pat out some hamburgers. Now, do it the way you like it. If you like yours thick, do them thick. If you like them thin, do them thin. It's not really important how that works. It doesn't matter. So what I'm going to do is making these patties. Try to make them a little bit round. Or you can make them oblong if you like to make them look more like steak. Remember, hamburger steak is just a hamburger patty that they run through a meat tenderizer to make it look like steak. That's all it is. People pay more for that because they think they're getting something a little bit better. Cube steak is actual steak that hasn't been ground, and then they run it through a meat tenderizer. So you make the patty the way you like it. I'm doing the exact same thing I would do if I were making hamburgers to go on the grill. This is hamburger, freshly ground. I just picked this up today. This is 73.27. Now, for some of you who don't realize what that means, that it's 73% lean and 27% fat. Okay? I had a young man argue with me about that once upon a time. He was wrong. He found out that I was right. I don't talk about things I don't know anything about. That is the percentage of fat to lean meat ratio when you buy it. So the higher the number, the more you pay for it. You really want to use a 73 when doing what we're doing because you're going to get a lot more flavor out of it. We even got a small one, but you know. Now, put this away. Now, like we do everything, we're going to hit this with our seasoning. The mixture here is simply coarse black pepper, salt, and garlic. And we're just going to shake this on. Now, we'll do a better job of this when we get out here on the grill. But you season that to taste. If you don't like garlic, then you can just use pepper and salt. Okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to walk outside to the grill. I've already pre-lit it. And it's out there burning. So I'm going to take my tools, my seasoning in the hamburger. We're going to go outside and we're going to grill this. We got a little smoke rolling. Burning off what was here from our last cook. It's hot the way I like it. And now we're going to turn it down. These ones on top, we'll put those on. Just space them. Okay. Get this with a little bit more seasoning. It's a little windy here today, not a problem. So when I season them, then I just put them around the grill. Now, since I've got them on there, just go back now and I put the seasoning on top. Try to make it as easy as you possibly can. And as I said, we're going to get that nice smoky flavor in this, which is what we want to add to our steak and gravy. All right. So in about 15 minutes, we'll take this off. And we'll come back and we'll show you how we finish this. Okay, so as we prepare For the rest of this cook, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut up some onions. Your traditional large yellow onions. I like big onions, the less you have to peel. And it's a little pithy, as I like to call it. We'll make that work. If any of y'all are wondering why my eyes aren't watering, just as soon as I say that, they start watering. It's because it's the amount of how fresh these onions are, how strong they become. And these aren't that strong, it's a little strong. All right, so you've seen this before, but we'll do it again. We're going to take and cut the onion in half. Slice the onion. And it's up to you how big you want the pieces to be. They're going to cook down. The term is caramelize. We're going to reduce these onions down to a state where they're just basically water and sugar. And then we're going to be able to eat them. Okay. Now my pan has been preheating. And I'm going to put this in. And as you can hear, they're starting to cook. Now, to the peppers. Now, I've already pre-washed these. So they came right off the farm. And they're probably a little bit dirty, but we washed them. Take the core out. Now, here's where it gets interesting from a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all don't like to cut up peppers because you think it's difficult. With a sharp knife, it doesn't take anything at all. And then I can cut them again. Or I can leave them whole like that. They're going to cook down. It's going to add to the flavor. With a sharp knife, this is child's play. This is nothing. And there's a bad spot. I'm going to use that. We'll get rid of that piece there. Just cut these up as small as you want them to be. Leave them as big as you want them to be. Put as much pepper in here as you like. We like the vegetables with our meat. And that's a lot of pepper right there. Let's go with that. And the peppers and the onions. I'm going to turn up my heat a little bit. And these are going to cook. Okay. Now while that's cooking, what I'm going to do is let's go outside and let's get our hamburgers. So, just going to get any plate out of the cabinet. We'll go outside and take these hamburgers out. Alright, those are good. See the grill marks? The one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to squeeze the hamburgers. If you squeeze the hamburgers, you squeeze all the flavor out. I'll turn my tank off. Turn my knobs off. Okay. And we're going to go back inside. As I turn this up a little bit, so we can make it good, go ahead and get it cooked. And as we said several times before, what you want, I've got a little butter in this pan. I've got a little butter, and I've got onions and peppers in here. And what we want to do is simply cook down. We're going to caramelize. We're going to reduce them down to their base element, and they're going to release all the sugars and the waters, and they're going to change color. So when these peppers start turning a light green color, they're going to be done. And then we'll add our hamburger. So we're going to let that cook a little bit. We'll come right back. So we're back with the onions. They are caramelizing. They're changing colors. And you can cook them longer if you like yours browner. That right there is pretty good for me. As some people call this, they sweat the onions. We're caramelizing the onions. So what we're going to do, let me show you our hamburger. Again, notice the stripes. Those are the grill marks. And we're going to just put the hamburgers in here. I'm going to leave out a little one for Emma. So now all we got to do is put in the gravy. And you immediately hear that sizzle. Follow me. What we're going to do is I'm going to get a little water. Because this is awful thick. I'm a very frugal guy. I don't waste anything. So all I'm doing is rinsing out every one of these jars. I'm going to use every last bit of this. I'm not going to waste any of it. Food is too expensive to waste. Now you're asking yourself, doesn't that water down the flavor? Just a little bit. But it's worth it. So water this down a little bit. All this is the rinse aid. Use every last bit of it. And if it's too thick, add some more water. You can also add butter to thin this down a little bit. And all I do is I watch my temperature. I'm going to move these around. And I'm going to let this simmer. Now, as everybody can imagine, now it's starting to look like steak and gravy. If you can imagine, what's going to happen is the flavor of the onions and the peppers and the gravy and the hamburger are all going to mix together. And we're going to get some smokiness out of the hamburger. The hamburger is going to get just a little bit tender. And it's going to be perfect for us to be able to come back and be able to eat. So now one thing I'm going to do, if I can find my lid, I'll turn my heat down. And I'm going to put this on, and I'm simply going to let that simmer. So we're going to turn the heat down a little bit, and we're going to let that simmer and let it take its time. And we'll come back and we'll show you the finished product. We're going to make broccoli to go with it and mashed potatoes. And we'll show you not what's going to go on the plate, but we're not going to show you that because you don't need to see that. You know how to make mashed potatoes. One of these days we'll come back and we'll show you that. So we do a little bit different thing here. We use the instant potatoes because we don't have a lot of time. And butter, milk, add some sour cream to it, which is one of the secrets. And we'll put some black pepper and some salt in it. We'll be ready to go. So we'll come back and we'll show you that. Okay, so we're going to plate this up. And this is our finished product. It's been simmering. And I'm just going to simply get one of the hamburger steaks. I may be feeling very hungry. Let's get two. And let's get some gravy. I'm not fancy. I don't need to go get a ladle. I just need to get some gravy. And they look good in there. They mix in with the onions and peppers. What happens is the onions and peppers just cook away and they just become part of the mixture. See? And you can get some onions and peppers if you like. Onions and peppers. Get a few of those to go with it. And that's dinner. So I got my favorite beverage here. I've got an Arnold Palmer. It's probably more Arnold than Palmer right now, but it's okay. So, doesn't that look good? Hamburger steak and gravy. So, let's try this. You don't need a knife. It's very tender. It's just hamburger. Very good. The smoky flavor from the grill is adding to it. The only thing I would do differently, and we don't do it every single time, you could add mushrooms to this mixture. But with the onions and peppers, it's just as good. You can't believe how good this actually tastes. Little mashed potatoes. Onion pepper flavor inside the gravy with the mashed potatoes. Tastes really good. So I'm going to finish this off. I wish we had taste-o-vision, because y'all really would need to smell this and taste it. Taste-o-vision. That's an idea. If I brag on myself, fantastic. My mama's hamburger steak and gravy. Steak and gravy. It's fantastic. That's a great meal. It's a big meal, but I'm worth it. Thanks for watching. See y'all.